Mohammed sir, if you can hear me, shall we start the session? Mohammed sir, are you able to hear me? Um, Mohammed sir, I hope I'm audible to you now. Mohammed sir, can you please, am I audible to you now? Can you please unmute yourself? Yes, yes. Okay, yeah, so Mohammed sir has joined us online. So I welcome you all to the third and last session of the day. I'll invite now Sanam to introduce the speaker.
Good afternoon, all. Sri Muhammad K.K. retired from the Archaeological Survey of India as Regional Director North in 2012, is known for archaeological excavations and conservation works for which he was conferred Padma Shri in 2019. He was also awarded India Harmony Award 2014 by Dr. Najma Heptullah for working closely with various religious groups. During his distinguished career, he excavated Ibadat Khana, where Akbar the Great promulgated the composite religion. He also located and excavated the first Christian church of North India, built by Akbar at Fatehpur Sikri. As superintending archaeologist in Bihar, Sri Muhammad discovered a new Buddhist stupa at Rajgir and excavated Kesaria people of Vaishali. He conserved Samlo Temple, Chhattisgarh. Sri Muhammad reconstructed 80 temples at Chambal Valley with the help of dreaded records of the area. It is considered as a milestone in the field of conservation. Of the 4 transplantations so far executed in India, Sri Muhammad has the distinction of heading 2 of them, namely Kurdi Mahadev Temple in Goa and Chaubi's Avadar Temple at Omkareshwar in Madhya Pradesh. Naturally, due to his excellent track record, the Archaeological Survey of India deemed it fit to entrust him the conservation work of Delhi monuments on the occasion of Commonwealth 2010. In Delhi, Sri Muhammad attracted the attention of American President Barack Obama by running slum schools for the laborers working in the monument for its conservation. For his excellent work, Shri Muhammad has to his credit 3 international awards and 7 national awards and 1 state award including SAARC Environmental Award, Sri Lanka Mahabodhi Society Award 2010 and awards for maintaining including historical buildings such as Qutb Minar and Sanchi Stupa. It's our pleasure to have you, sir, here for the Faculty Development Program Day 6. We welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Sir, I hope we are audible to you. Mehmet sir. Mehmet sir, Mehmet sir, are we audible to you? Sir, am I audible to you now?
Yes, now.
Okay, okay. So, sir, I hope you can see the PPT.
I can see the PPT. That is fine.
Yes, sir. So, you may start, sir.
Okay. Friends, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. We can hear you
Okay.
well.
That's
Yes.
okay. So, thank you very much, MES School of Architecture, Kutttippuram, for giving me an opportunity to speak to all of you. Friends, I am basically an archaeologist. An archaeologist has two important functions. Number one, he is an explorer and an excavator also. So he goes to the historically important places, explores the whole area, and if it is a potential area archaeologically, then he goes for the excavation also. We are aware about the excavations at many places like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Kalibanga, Dholavira, many of the important historical sites. Earlier, the history of India was, we all thought that the history of India was limited to 6th century BC only. Then it was archaeology which has pushed back the whole thing into 2500 BC. So that is one thing. That is known as exploration and excavation. And the second thing is conservation of the monuments. Hello? Conservation of the monuments mean many of these archaeological sites, they were in a deserted condition, they were in a ruined conditions. How to conserve them and how to preserve them, that was one question. So we have so many technical problems today. So I'll just go get into the subject. Today I'm going to take you to a site known as Bateshwar. What is the speciality of Bateshwar? Bateshwar is in Chambal Valley. The problem of Chambal Valley is in all other places like Delhi, Agra, Fatehpur Sikri and other places. There you may not be having many problems to tackle with. But in Chambal Valley, you have some of the dreaded dacoits. It is infested with the dacoits. So you just cannot go there and you cannot take up the work also. So most of the archaeologists and historians, they have been avoiding this problem. They don't want to face the problem. Okay, because it is a place with all problems. So if you are not facing the problem, if you are not braving into the problems, there is nothing. Nobody is going to challenge you. Nobody is going to ask you any question. But if you have decided to go to the place, take up the challenge, there will be many problems. So if you are an ordinary man, of course, that is well and good. Nobody is going to question. But if you want to be an extraordinary person, then you'll have to take up some of the challenges also. So I thought that I will take up the challenge. But for taking up the work there, you have to get express permission of the dacoits. Without that, you just cannot do anything there at all. But with the dacoits, you cannot talk to them directly. If you are going to talk to them directly, the next day your dead body will be hanging from the nearby tree. So your plan A is not going to work. So if you are a resourceful person, if the plan A is not working, why don't you go for plan B? And if that plan B is also not working, then why don't you go for plan C? So you have to devise your own methods. So I said that I cannot talk to them directly. But then I was in search of a police officer who had earlier had a who had earlier killed some of them. So that man, he was from Trichur. He was a Keralite. He was from Trichur. His name is Mr. Vijayaraman. Vijayaraman was the person who had shot the Pan Singh Tomar. Pan Singh Tomar was a very dreaded dacoit. Now there is a film also about Pan Singh Tomar. And it was this man, that Vijayaraman from Trichur. Of course, I mean, he was born in Trichur, but at the same time, he was brought up in other places. It was he who had shot him dead. And then it was the same Vijayaraman who had shot dead some other of the Kashmiri and Pakistani terrorists also, and especially the person, Ghazi Baba. Who is this Ghazi Baba? Ghazi Baba was that Pakistani terrorist who had bombed our parliament house. They could not succeed in that one. So it was this man who had shot him dead also. So I went to him because he was at that time in Bhopal. Spoke to him because his wife, Mrs. Veena Raman, she was working in the tourism department. So tourism and archaeology, that goes together. So my plan B worked, and then I mean I had some other surrendered dacoits also in that area also and in Bhopal also. So one day I invited them also to my office, had a long discussion, and then I honored them also, those people who had surrendered, and then they also extended their help and cooperation. So finally I got the permission to go to the site. So when I went to the site, how did I see the whole site? Next, please. This is a typical 9th and 10th century temple. 9th and 10th century temple, the lower part, that would be known as Vedi Bandha. The lower part will be three portions would be there: Kura, Kumbha, Kalasha. So that is the lowest portion. That is like your feet, the feet of the human body. Then there will be Janga. Janga means the thigh portion of the human body. Then there will be Varantika. Varantika means the waist portion. Then the Shigara, that is the body portion. So just as we have the human body, and then the last, that is the above Shigara, there will be the head portion, that is known as Amalka. So it is exactly like human body. Idam Shariram Kaundeya Kshetra Mityabhigiyarde. Idam Shariram Kaundeya. Because your whole human body, that itself is the temple also. And just as you have feet, you have thighs, you have waist portion, you have the upper portion, the temples also will be having. When you are installing a deity inside Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, that becomes a spiritual union of all the gods, and at the same time the body of the god also. So I went to the site. Next, please. This is Chambal Valley. When you say that this Chambal Valley, it doesn't mean that it is full of forest. No, it is not full of forest. Here you have huge dunes and dunes. There is a maze of dunes there, a maze of undulating ravines. And it has got near about 5,000 square meters of area. All of them have their own pathways also. So even if you depute a police group there, they would be trapped by the dacoits and they would be killed. So the police officers also generally they don't venture into that area. And the common people are also fully armed in that area. For example, if you go to Bind, Morena or Golio, each house will be having arms. That in Bind there are 30,000 arms, that is licensed arms. And there will be more than 1 lakh unlicensed this one also. It is like that. Next, please. So just look at Mansi. This was a dreaded dacoit. He was killed in 1955. Look at his record. He has killed 1,112 robberies. I mean, he has made this 1,112 robberies, killed 185 persons, and of them, 35 persons were police people. That was his record. So that kind of dreaded dacoits. Next, please. This is Mohar Singh. Mohar Singh just passed away last month of May. And he surrendered to the police in 1972. So the surrender question was going on. Mrs. Gandhi was alive at that time. Mrs. Gandhi said that if Mohar Singh is ready to surrender, then only I will accept this surrender proposal. Otherwise, I am not going to accept this proposal. That was the reply of Mrs. Indira Gandhi at that time. So he then joined one political party, and then when that political party lost, he joined another political party. So these kinds of people are there. So last time, I mean, before his death, he wrote a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister of the country, saying that the whole work which was going on in this one in Bateshwar, that has now been stopped. Kindly resume the work. That was his appeal. And then he sent a copy of that letter to me also. So this is the kind of people we are going to deal with. Next, please. This is Malkhan Singh. Malkhan Singh surrendered in 1982. But his modus operandi was that in case he is going to kidnap a person, he would be first of all sending a letter to him not only in his right, this one under his signature, but also in his letter pad. So he used to, for kidnapping also, he used to use a letter pad. That was the kind of terror which he had created in the whole Chambal Valley. Next, please. And this is, as I think, Pan Singh Tomar. He was not an ordinary person. He was not an unpad man. He was not an uneducated person. He was a military man, and he said, I mean, represented India in this in the Asian Olympics also. He, I mean, in the Olympics he represented India. Such a man, and then ultimately when he came to his village, he became a dacoit, and he was shot dead by our Vijayaraman. Next, please. This is Vijayaraman when he just passed out his law, and then when he was a decorated police officer, he was the BSS chief also, the Director General of BSF, then the Director General of PSC also, and he was in the SGP also of the Government of India. Next, please. This is a file photograph when he shot dead this Pan Singh Tomar. On the right side, you can see Pan Singh Tomar's dead body, and Vijayaraman is in the center. Next, please. This is 3 years back when I went to Pune, because now they are settled. Mr. Veena-Raman and Vijayaraman, they are settled there. We had a meeting because we had a lot of work. I mean, we did a lot of work together. Next, please. At this season, sometimes there will be 2-3 groups. So when I was working there were 3 groups. One was Nirbhay Singh Gujjar group. That is a Gujjar group. I mean, it's a community. Then Ram Babu Gadaria group was there. Then there was a Rajasthani group, that is Tokia group. So similarly, these groups were there. Next, please. So after getting their permission, when I went to the site, just look at this photograph. I saw the site like this one. In a huge earthquake, the entire temple town had come tumbling down like a pack of cards, without sparing anybody to narrate even the harrowing details of a horror-stricken story. Completely, the entire temple was completely smashed to the ground. So now this is a very good thing for a press photographer. For a TV channel, it's a very good photograph. And for a press person also, it is a very good news. But for an archaeologist, because his mandate is not to take the photograph, not to write about it, but he has to piece them together. He has to put a tongue in each and every stone, and then ask question. When the temple was standing, where were you standing? So he has to put a tongue into that deaf and dumb stones. That is his duty, and then recreate and re-erect as it was. So that is my task. How did I do it? So that is the subject which we are going to discuss it today. So if you are an archaeologist, you can see that, I mean, you can put a tongue, as I said, in every stone. वो हिंदी में there is a शेर, सुनने की मोहलत मिले तो आवाज है पत्थरों में. सुनने की मोहलत मिले तो आवाज है पत्थरों में, उजड़े हुए बस्तियों में भी आबादियां बोलती है. If you have a patient, if you can listen to the thing, then that means you can put a tongue in each and every stone. So that is what we did it. Next, please. Just see another slide. How things are lying down. It was a huge earthquake. Everything was, completely smashed down. And now we have to ask this question to each and every stone and then re-erect it as it was. Next, please. A press person. His name is Kevin Strange. He's a European photographer and this one. When he saw the site, he said that this is the biggest jigsaw puzzle I have seen in the whole world. He had been all over the country and he has been a reporter also. And he said that this was the biggest jigsaw puzzle I have seen in the world. Yes. Next, please. Any moment it can fall down. It is very precariously standing. इतना टूटा हूँ मैं छूने से बिखर जाएंगे. I'm so fragile that by the mere touch of your hand I may come down. इतना टूटा हूँ मैं छूने से बिखर जाएंगे. Next, please. Next, please.
Sir,
Next, please.
sir, is this a video you want to play, or I'll go to the next
No,
slide?
no, no. Because we don't have time. We are short of time. So.
Okay.
इसके पहले नहीं इसके पहले नहीं पहले I mean earlier. No, before. No, you are going ahead. No, back. Yes. Yeah. No. Yes. I saw this one like this one. So now, because if you are an archaeologist, if you are not an archaeologist, this site will not tell you anything. So after the discussion, they gave us that the course gave us 4 months. Within 4 months, you have to complete this work. This was a trial. You have to complete this work. I said that if you are here, we will not be able to work because we will be always under fear. So you have to shift your base from here to some other place. So after prolonged discussion, because it took near about 4 months, they agreed to it. And then we visited the site. So you can just see, look at the photograph. You can see the base of a pillar there. The base of a pillar. It doesn't speak anything. But to an archaeologist, it would say, no, there was if the base of a pillar is there, then there will be a pillar also. And the pillar is lying just by the side of it. And then there will be a third stone that is known as a falaga. There will be a stone over that, this one pillar. And then there will be one more crowning stone. And very fortunately, all of them are lying there at the site itself. Because nobody had the courage to lift anything from here. So I could get all the parts of one pillar. I said that this is an entrance gate. But how can it be an entrance gate is the question. Because for an entrance gate, you have to have 2 pillars. And this is only one pillar. So we looked for the other pillar all around. We could not get it. So generally what we do is that if we are not getting any answer, we look at God. Ishwar, koi rasta bataiye. But an archaeologist is not like that. He looks down. He asks the same question with Mother Earth. So I made a small excavation on the other side of it. And there I could get another pillar base like this one. Next, please. Just see on the other side, you have got another pillar base. But simply pillar base is not enough for you. You have to get the other pillar also. Next, please. Just see you have the other pillar also there. Now, what you have to do is, you have to join them together because you should work now like a knee surgeon. Mutneka surgeon. Muttinde surgeon you have to work now. So you have to join them together. And you have to insert an iron rod, that is steel rod, with erudite so that you can join them together. Next, please. Just look at it. We have joined them together, and very firmly we have joined them together. Very strongly we have joined them together. You can see the cleavages there itself. Now, where is the second one? Next, please. Just see, you have got both the pillars now standing, hale and hearty. And now there are 4 temples just by the side of it. It is very shaky. So what you have to do is, you have to, first of all, you have to photographically, you have to document them. Then each stone, you have to document them, you have to give them a number. If it is the northern zone, northern and this one part, then you give a number n, then give a number also n, a number 1, n2, n3, n4. If it is the eastern part, just give a another this one. E1 east means E 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and each layer would be numbered like that one. If it is south, you have to give S. If it is north, it is N. N. So with this one, you have to work. So we documented them, all of them, then dismantled the whole thing, gave a very strong foundation, strong foundation, and then it was re-erected as it was. Just wait for the next miracle. This was nothing short of a miracle what we are going to create it. And that is what we have done. Next, please. Just look at it. Just look at it. You and it was really a very big, beautiful sight, all the fragments which was fallen there, which was broken there, which was in fragments that are now standing with you, before you, hale and hearty. It is infused with a fresh life and light into it. So the 4 months was over. The dacoits were coming back. So they have, whenever they come, they know there will be a pilot party. The pilot party members, they came, they saw the whole thing has been completely transformed. Then he shouted at the top of his voice to the Sardar. Sardar means the man, the Nirbhay Singh Gujjar and group. Sardar, ये तो चमत्कार का काम किया है. These people, they have created wonders here. ये तो चमत्कार का काम किया है. That was the immediate response of the pilot party people. Then the dacoit came, Nirbhay Singh Gujjar came. He saw, highly impressed, tried to smile, but he could not smile because he had killed a number of people. So he just could not smile. He could simply smirk, and he could simply this one smirk. And then he also said, "ये तो चमत्कार का काम है." And this is really wonderful work. So that was a kind of certificate for me. Now we can, because now we have gained their confidence, we can move together. And most of these temples, they were Shiva temples. There were very few Vishnu temples also. It was a ratio of 60, 40 or 70, 30. It was in that ratio. So Shiva temples would be having, Shiva is Jadamakuda. So it is said Jadi, Charmi, Shikandi cha Sarvanga Sarvabhavana. Harishcha Harinacha Sarva Bodhara Prabhu. It is ultimately he who destroys everything. Shashwadam Shiva Machudam. If there is anything everlasting, that is Lord Shiva. So we got the permission and we moved to the next temple. Next, please. Just look at it, how you had seen it and how we have made it. Next, please. This is another temple. The front portion has already fallen down. Within the Garbhagriha, there was neither any image. So we had our own problem whether it is a Shiva temple or Vishnu temple. But an archaeologist has his own way of solving the problem. Can you, in the second photograph, that is on the right photograph, in front of the temple, you can just see an enormous gap. That is a small break. A small gap is there. It is not square. Then what is it? It is elongated. So that is enough for an archaeologist to decide whether it is a Shiva temple or Vishnu temple. That this one, that small crevices, that is elongated, which means that is the Nandi Sthan. In front of every Shiva temple, there will be his Vahana, that is Nandi. So I just recited the mantra. Vahanam Vrishabho Yasya Vasuki Kantapushanam. Vahanam Vrishabho Yasya. His vehicle is Vrishabha, that is Nandi, that is this one, bull. Vahanam Vrishabho Yasya Vasuki Kantapushanam. His neck ornaments, they are all this one Vasuki. Vame Shaktitaram Deva Vakaraya Namo Nama. Just recited the mantra. Look towards the right side of it. That was a slopey area. There was a small, beautiful, cute Nandi looking at me as if he was waiting for me for the last 1,200 years. This was a kind of spiritual meeting, you can say. In Urdu, there is another share. ये रफ्ते मोहब्बत भी क्या रफ्ते मोहब्बत है ये रफ्ते मोहब्बत भी क्या रफ्ते मोहब्बत है दिल उनका वहां धड़का आवाज यहाँ आई. Because this is a kind of spiritual relationship. If you are in search of it, if you wanted to do certain things, then there will be a kind of spiritual relationship. So we ceremonially lifted it from there. Then we just placed it in this gap and it was perfectly sitting. Please. Just see, now we have been able to conserve it. Now you might be asking, where is that Nandi? Next, please. Just look at this small, beautiful, cute Nandi. What is he doing? He is looking at Lord Shiva and Parvati. Eyes are very riveted and his ears are very sharp. He is listening to that Om which is coming from Kailasha. What is Om? Om Tad Brahma, Om Tad Vayu, Om Tad Atma, Om Tat Satyam, Om Tat Sarvam. So Om is everything. So he is listening to that one. And that will be entering into his mouth, and then he would be emitting it out through his ears. Next, please. Next, please. I'm just hurrying through because there is a shortage of time. These three temples, I saw it like this. All parts are lying there itself. You have to join them together. Next, please. But I had to bring them down. Next, please. Brought them down. Strong foundation was given. Re-erection started. Next, please. Just look at it. A thing of perfect beauty and absolute finish. A thing of perfect beauty and absolute finish. Next, please. Just look at it. The left side you have the before and on the right side you have after. Next, please. And here on the left side you have three temples. It looks like the setting of a English horror story, like Dracula or something. But what we have done is, next please. Just look at it. A gem of a rare workmanship. Look at this one. The beautiful carving, the cadence of the carvings of this temple. Very beautiful carving. That is the beauty of our temple. The ornamental part is very beautiful. And we have been able to do it like that one. Next, please. Next, please. This is a classical case. If you want to see that this temple that has been completely eaten away by this tree. Now, as per Agamas, if you want to see this kind of temple, you have to go to Angkor Wat. In Angkor Wat, you have got a number of temples like this one. Now, if you want to this one save this temple, you have to cut down the tree. But you just cannot cut down a tree like that one. You have to seek the permission of the tree first, and then you have to take the permission of the birds who are sitting over that one. You have to request them kindly migrate from this tree to some other habitable tree. Namasto vrikshe pujayam shamandu, and then you have to say Anyartha Vasam Parikalpayandu, you please migrate from this tree to some other habitable tree. We did the same thing. And when we cut down the tree afterwards, the entire temple that fell down. Next, please. And there are many trees like this one, many temples like this one. Next, please. Just look at this one. This temple, I mean, the roots of this temple have gone through the roots of this tree has gone through the ribs of the temple. Next, please. Like a falcon, it has held it. And then I had to rebuild it. Next, please. Rebuilding started. It has come up to this level now, and we have to add four more. I mean, this one layers over it. Next, please. Next, it has come up to this level, and now we have to put one more layer. Next, please. Just look at it. Just look at it. You won't feel that it is 1,200 years old. Fresh, clean, unspoiled by time and tide. It looks like a beautiful jewel casket. Very beautiful jewel casket. As I told you, the cadence of the carvings, that is outstanding. That is so charming. It can regale you. It can hold you in thrall. It is so beautiful. Next, please. Next, please. Just compare it. Next, please. I was just walking over this one. Archaeologist, he would be having so many premonitions. And when I walked, I said that I'm going to get four temples below my shoes. And so I got it. Next, please. Just look at that down below the four temples standing. All of them have come out of their own tombs. Once they were entombed, they were completely buried, and they have broken open their own burial grounds, and they have come out of it. What a marvelous four temples. Next, please. And at that time, we were not having water. Even the dacoits were also not having water. The site which you are seeing now there near the tree, it was completely filled up. So nobody knew that there was a pond there just below. But when we explored the entire area, we could feel that we are going to get water there. So when we excavated that portion, when we salvaged it, we got not only the temples, I mean, we got not only the water, we also got three temples from there. Next, please. Next. Temples are again coming out, and you are going to get water also now. Next, please. And now, I mean, all the steps have been remade now. Remade means, I mean, all of them were there, but we had to reset it. We reset. And from that wet portion, we got copious amount of water also. Next, please. Just look at it. When they got copious amount of water, their immediate comment of this dacoits were, there, this one was, Man changa hai to katoti mein Ganga. If your mind is pure, then Gangaji, the river Ganga would be on your doorstep. You don't have to go to the Gangaji. You don't have to go to the Gangotri, Yamunotri, Haridwar, Lakshman Jula, all these places. All these rivers would come to you if your mind is pure. That was their command of this dacoits. Next, please. Next, please. We saw this temple, it was a very big temple. All the fragments are lying there. Nobody had the courage to lift anything from here. And simply by joining all of them, we could remake it. Next, please. Just look at these three temples. Again, they are coming, breaking open their own tombs and coming out. Next, please. What a huge temple. Next, please. Oh, wonderful, wonderful three temples. They can hold you in thrall. It can regale you. It is so beautiful. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. I saw this portion like this one. I said, I'm going to get 6 temples. The only clue was the temple was not there. But I said, I'm going to get 6 temples. There was only one clue. The steps leading to the completely fallen temple was there. 1, 2, 3, I counted. It was 6. So I said that we are going to get 6 temples. You don't have to have be a jadugar for that. Next, please. So first of all, you have to remove the tree. I removed the tree. So from that steps, just in front of the step, I got 6 temples. Just behind that, I got 20 temples. And just in front of it, we got 6 temples. So totally 20 temples we are going to reconstruct right in front of your eyes. And before that, have a look at the site, the photograph. It is from these things we are going to get near about 20 temples standing right before your eyes. Next, please. Started the work. Next, please. One is almost completed. Next, please. 2 temples are completed. Next, please. Just compare it. What was the condition before and now what is the condition? But I had promised you 6 temples. Where are they? Next, please. 3. Next, please. 4. Like a military roll call, it is now coming before you. 5. Next, please. 6. 6 beautiful temples right before your eyes. Look at the elevation, symmetry, proportion, and balance. Each stone that has gone into the creation of this temple, that is beautifully conceived, beautifully cut, and like a sparkling diamond. It has been, it is cut and polished like a sparkling diamond. And that stone is crafted into second stone into third into fourth one, and then the entire thing has been brought into a very brilliant culmination to make it an architectural symphony. That's the beauty of these temples. The proportion, the balance, everything is absolute and it is completely perfect. Next, please. Look at the back side of it. The sweet melody of its architecture and the cadence grace of its carving combine to make it an architectural symphony. That's the beauty of these temples. I don't know whether you believe in Punarjanma or not, but now you are forced to believe in the Punarjanma of temples. In Greek and Chinese mythology, there is a phoenix. A bird of phoenix is there, which comes. Once it is dead and gone, it comes out of its own ashes. And these temples have come out of its own ashes like this one. Next, please. Just compare it. Next, please. This must go. Kevin Strange says this must go as one of the most sensitive archaeological projects in history. Next, please. And just behind it, 8 temples are just coming out of it. Next, please. 8 temples. Now the lower portion also you have to beautify. Next, please. The front is 6 temples and the back is 8 temples. All these people are dacoits, but now many of them have joined me, except the top few people. Now they are because we were giving them employment also, not only for them but for the whole village. We were giving employment also. They are all now there is a social engineering. Now they have been, all of them have been now converted, except very few people. Next, please. Just look at it. What a beautiful sight. And how, just think of it, how you had seen them earlier. Divine in conception and sublime in execution. You can feel that God, Shiva, is somewhere there and looking at you. Next, please. And now if you excavate the back portion of it, there you will be getting so many temples. Next, please. Just compare, on the left side you have got the earlier photograph, and on the right side you have got the photograph after the conservation. Next, please. These 3 temples, there were 6 temples already, but these 3 temples, next please. 3 conserved. Where are the next 3? Next, please. 6 temples. Next, please. 6 temples. They are in terraces. 1, 2, 3 terraces like this one. Altogether, there might have been 7 terraces, because 7 has got a symbolic meaning also in Hinduism. Next, please. Just look at it. From others. And if you are excavating, so far I have been able to complete only 80 temples. There are 120 temples even now lying there. Next, please. Hanumanji. The dacoits, before going for dacoity, they were worshipping here. This temple also, and then there was a Devi temple also, because they have got abundant faith in Devi. So they would be, and when they come back with their booty, they used to distribute it in front of Hanumanji or Devi temple. Next, please. This portion I saw it like this one, and by using these fragments, I could put together 8 temples here. Next, please. Just look at it. What a marvelous transformation. Next, please. I leave it to you for your comparison. Next, please. This I saw it, but out of these fragments, I have been able to make 13 temples. Next, please. Just look at it. All of them, by the color itself, only the big temple was there. All others have come out of their own tombs. Apni burial grounds. I don't know whether you have been to Manikarnika Ghat in Kashi. There, if those people who have dead and gone, if they come alive, it would be like that. Next, please. Now there is a traffic jam of temples. Everywhere a traffic jam of temples. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. That was one group, and there was another group. Next, please. So I moved, once I completed that one, I moved into these temple groups. Next, please. So one day I was moving from this one temple to another temple. So many of the dacoits, they joined with us. They got the employment also. But the top man, that is Nirbhay Singh Gujjar, He did not, he was not ready for any kind of this one, but he was fully supporting us. And the move was also going for surrendering. But he made extraordinary this one demands from the government, and he gave a statement also in AICTE channel that whatever the UP Chief Minister Mulayam Singh Yadav, whatever he says, I'll be following that one. And if he says that I should contest the election, like Phulan Devi, that also I'll do. So he made extraordinary this one, and that became a problem for the Mulayam Singh Yadav also. So they make it this one like a task force by having three governments. That is the Madhya Pradesh government, this one, the Uttar Pradesh government, and the other one, that is Rajasthan government, a joint task force, so that he should be eliminated forever. He should not make any big noise like this one. Next, please. So one day I was moving from one temple to another. Iske pehle wala, yeah, just keep it moving. So there was a person who was sitting just in front of the temple, not inside the temple, outside, and he was smoking. So when I saw a man smoking, not inside, I became angry, and then I said, "आपको शर्म नहीं आते? आप मंदिर में बीड़ी पी रहे? Are you not ashamed that you are smoking in a temple area?" He looked at me very contemptuously. But I was always keeping my this one intermediaries along with me, so that if anything goes wrong, they would be there for my help and cooperation. So they immediately ran behind me, caught hold of my hand, and said, "Sir, aapse kuch mat kahiye. Please don't speak anything to this great man." So by that time, I got the message, and I had seen his interview also in AICTE channel. So you just cannot escape. The whole area is surrounded by these people. I sat at his feet and then engaged him in a discussion. I said, "Sir, all this Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and all of them are here in this place is only because of you. Otherwise, they would have been either in America or in Paris or in some other countries." So he liked it very much because for the first time somebody is genuinely appreciating him. I said that in future also, neither the collector nor the commissioner nor the SP nor the DGP would be able to help us. It's only you who would be able to help us. And I knew that they are worshippers of Bhagavati also. So I just recited some mantra. Mahishasura Nirna, Shavidatri Varade Nama, Rupam Devi, Jayam Devi, Yasho Dehi, Disho Dehi. And he was at ease. Then I said that God has sent you with some purpose. So he became curious. What is that purpose? What is the secret behind that? So I said that all these temples have been built by a very powerful dynasty known as Gujjar Pratihara dynasty. Gujjar Pratihara dynasty. And they have made similar temples in Rajasthan also, in Uttaranchal also. And why God has selected you for the selection of this temple, for the conservation, for this one, safety of this temple is because your name is Nirbhay Singh Gujjar. You belong to that illustrious family of the rulers who had constructed these temples. That is why God has entrusted this responsibility upon you. And let me tell you that he was blown over his feet. He was blown over his feet. He did not know this rahasya, this secret of his own life. He did not know. So that was revealed to him. So he became a completely changed man. But the government has decided because he knew that his end was coming. He could hear the sound of this one death, and he said that I would be shot dead. By one of his brother was shot dead, and only one more brother was left out, and he knew it, but he was ready for it. Next, please. So after getting his permission, we got special group of people who are ready from Chanderi, and they started working. Next, please. Conservation started at a bigger scale. Next, please. The Garbhagriha have fallen down on the left side, that has been put together on the right side. Next, please. Next, please. Now the pillars have come up. You have to put a stone over that one, your roof over that one. That is done. Next, please. Next, please. It's a huge temple is now coming up. Next, please. What a beautiful temple now. Next, please. I mean, broken fragments, we don't throw them away. We join them together. And now, because since we have been able to put up a very beautiful Shivalaya, now Lord Shiva is ready to marry. Previously, after the death of Sati, he refused to marry, but now we have been able to put together a very good, beautiful Shivalaya. He is ready to marry. Next, please. This is the Kalyana. On the left side is the Kalyana Sundara Murti of Lord Shiva. If you marry, then you have to have children. Look at Ganeshji. Ekadantam Chadurbahu, Gajavaktram Mahodaram, Siddhi Buddhi Samayukam, Moshigaruta Mevaja. If there is any God who has got Buddhi and Siddhi, that is he only. Next, please. I'm just hurrying through because of the shortage of time. Next, please. This is this one. I mean, Yashodhara's India, the younger sister of former Rajasthan Chief Minister. And one day she rang up and told me, Mohammed ji, आपने इतना ज़्यादा काम कर रहे हैं वहाँ, लेकिन मुझे अभी तक ले नहीं गया. So I took madam, and just on his right side is the MP from that area, and he was the man who was responsible cash for vote. Just behind is Ashwini Lohani. He was the former chairman of the railways, and also the former Air India chairman. Was a very, 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 I mean, active officer. So we had a very good group at that time. So Madam Inko, I mean, she is very effective and very efficient minister, unlike many others, very efficient minister. तो अक्सर मुझे बुलाते भी थे. I mean, she used to call me also because I mean, my office and her house was very close together. तो अक्सर बुलाते थे, कई चीज़ों के बारे में बात करते. She has an abundant interest in art, heritage and archaeology because of the royal family could be. And she asked me, what do you need from my side? Because she was the tourism minister. I said, madam, there is no road to this place. So she immediately ordered, because she is efficient, so people used to obey her. तो फिर मुझसे कहा कि अब इसको जो नहीं आपको ही देखना है, what is the quality of these roads. Next, please. ये this one, Jyotiraj India, he is also equally very, very efficient, highly efficient, and very good also. You say, I mean, he would tell you this has to be done. You say that these are the problem, he would immediately solve it and then ring up to that person. Muhammad is coming to you, and whether he has done it or not. So you need this kind of people. And he used to tell in open public meeting that if I give 100 rupees to Muhammad, he would make it 1,000 and return it. So this is the kind of support I had there in Madhya Pradesh. Next, please. You had seen it, the whole temple groups like this one. And see how we have completely transformed them. Next, please. Next, please. A traffic jam of temples. Everywhere you can, I mean, temples are now standing up like this one, like a military roll call. Next, please. Please. Now I have put up a, I mean, very beautiful garden also all around it. Next, please. Just compare this photograph, earlier photograph with the new photograph. आज तक याद है वो उजड़े दयार का मंजर मुझको. आज तक याद है वो उजड़े दयार का मंजर मुझको, जिसकी तस्वीर निगाहों में लिए फिरता हूँ. जिसकी तस्वीर निगाहों में लिए फिरता हूँ. Just compare the old photograph. So whenever I go to that place, I still have that old photograph with me. And I bear those old photographs with me in my own eyes and look at the new thing. Next, please. Next, next, please. Kevin Strange says, I can't even start to imagine how complex this task must have been, but the results are spectacular. Next, please. This is Nirbhay Singh Guchhi. He had so many relations with so many ladies. Next, please. One day he was shot dead, and he knew that his end was coming, and that happened also. And he had no regrets now because he has been able to help us in the completion of the task. Next, please. Now only his brother is left out, only the Pappu Gujar is left out. And he used to take 15 to 20 lakhs at that time. I'm talking about 12 years back, 14 years back. Uh, 15 to 20 lakhs if he catches a primary school teacher. So if it is a bigger engineer or somebody, it will be more than crores. Next, please. And once he was shot dead, till he was there, our temple sites were safe. Once he was shot dead, then the rampant mining started. I wrote to so many people because they were all getting some kind of help from those people from the mining lobby. So nobody stopped it. And then ultimately I had to do something which a government servant should not have done, because Madhya Pradesh was ruled by BJP government. I wrote a strong letter to Sudarshan ji, who was the RSS chief at that time, that now, because you say that you are for the conservation of the temples and other things, and while you say this one, whatever it was going on during the medieval period, the same thing is now happening. My temples are now coming down because of the certain political parties and affiliated groups. And that was a strong letter. And immediately our Ambika Soni, she was the Minister of Culture and Tourism. She wrote a letter to our the Chief Minister, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, that law and order is under you. You have to give full support to Archaeological Survey of India. And by that time, this Sudarshan ji had also pulled up the Chief Minister. Immediately, police was rushed to the area. Collector, he himself went to the area in person. The SP, he himself went to the area in person. And there was an exchange of fire also, because generally nobody, shoots the collector and SP. But here that also, because that was the kind of gangs there. So if they could shoot at the collector and SP, I mean, I was a relatively very this one easy target. But I could save myself because some of the dacoits were still alive, and dacoits knew that what kind of work I had done for those people. And if something had happened to me, they would not only kill the person who had shot me dead, but they would completely wipe out the entire family. So that is the way they do the retribution. And that also, and partly because by that time the Commonwealth Games was now being, this one, Delhi was preparing for the Commonwealth Games. So they wanted somebody who could deliver things before the period. So I was transferred to Delhi. Next, please. This was the letter which I wrote to Sudarshan ji at that time. Next, please. Then Ambika Soni wrote this letter to our Chief Minister. Next, please. Chief Minister wrote back, yes, earlier it was going on, but now we have been able to get it stopped. But the last portion was for taking action against me for writing that letter, and also for addressing the newspapers. So all the newspapers, all the channels were with me. So they were worried about that one. So now this is a letter from a chief minister to take action against me to a central minister. So as per the protocol, they have to take action against me. And I was waiting for my suspension letter also. And my question was, this one, because I had done such a wonderful work for Lord Shiva and for the temples. And is it the reward which you are going to give me? Now you have no other way, because your days are counted. But I knew that somehow somebody will be coming for my help. And all the newspapers people, who had come and reported about it from Delhi, they went to Ambika Soni and they said that here is an officer who has taken extraordinary steps against all these things. How can you take action against such a person? And because that would be completely ruining the moral of the whole people. So Ambika Soni said, no, I'm not going to take any action against him. But since this is a letter, I had to seek an explanation from him. So an explanation was sought, and then I was given the full protection also by Ambika Soniji. So that way she said, no, nothing doing. We are not going to take any action. Next, please. And this is all the channels were with me. Next, please. This is our now, a number of people are now visiting the place. Next, please. This is from Delhi SPA. People are now coming from SPA, almost all the SPA, of course, Bhopal SPA is there, Delhi SPA, these people are from Delhi SPA. Next, please. They are at the site now. All the dacoits have been now shot dead. There is no fear of it now. Next, please. It has become a huge toy by this one tourism place. Next, please. Next, please. ये हॉलैंड की महिला टीम है. The team. This one. Holland. This one. They had won the Olympics games. They came to see the site. Next, please. Dacoits help preserve Marina temples. All the press was with me. Next, please. Restore temple. This is from Trendline. Next, please. Malve में मंदिरों का खजाना. This is Dainik Bhaskar, the biggest newspaper in India. Next, please. Temple saves CM tells Soni. CM means Chief Minister tell Ambika Soni, but lower below Muhammad may face heat. Next, please. ASI turns to RSS, gets help. Next, please. Illegal miners fire at collector and SP. Such a powerful group. Next, please. सुदर्शन जी की शर्त पहल पर शासन जागा, खदाने बंद. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. मोहम्मद ने क्यों लिखा सुदर्शन को खत. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. मैं तो बच गया. I was saved because of certain situations also, but a young IPS officer who stood against this powerful group, the very powerful mining group, because they were from all political parties. He was very badly grinded into powder under the illegally mined this one truck. Very brutally he was killed. IPS ki hatya. Bedam banduk bekhauf mafia. This was the kind of, they used to take their reprisal like this one. Mine was a divine, this one. And I would not have been here, to tell you this story also, to narrate this story also to you. But that young man, small, he was only 32 years of age. He was grinded into powder under the truck, illegally mined truck. Next, please. And for this, I got SARC International Award. Next, please. Next, please. This so many awards for this work. Next, please. And later on, the Chief Minister also realized that he has done a mistake. So he should not have done it like that. And especially he should not have written to the Minister of Culture for taking action against me. And he, declared an award there. But I could not go and receive it. And I deputed my wife. She went and received it. Because I had to receive the French president in Kutttippuram. Next, please. So then later on, this one, that acquires, this is Mohar Singh Gujar, who had surrendered in 1972. He died in the last May. Before that, he wrote a letter to the minister, the Honorable Prime Minister. Like it has not been, the work has not been started yet. Next, please. This is Mohar Singh, and he sent a copy to me also. Next, please. This was the copy of that letter, and I was helpless because nobody is there to help me. Then one day I received a phone call from a very powerful business house, from a lady of a very powerful business house. Madam is an author, madam is a philanthropist, madam is a writer, all of them. Then madam rang up and told me, see, I have heard about a lot about the work which you have been doing. Please come and along with me. So last February, both of us were there for 4 days. Who is that powerful lady? Next, please. This is, can you just see that in the blue, this one? This is Mrs. Sudha Murthy of Infosys, the Infosys Foundation, chief of the Infosys Foundation. Madam saw the entire thing, completely blown over her feet. And then she not only promised, but she has now given 4 crores of rupees for the conservation of the rest of the temples. A very eminent author. And go to any of this airport, you can see Sudha Murthy's book. And she's a philanthropist. And one day, on this one, she sells vegetables in front of the great temple at this one, Tirupati. Such a great eminent lady. We were there for 4 days and saw the entire thing. Next, please. So I think I'll be leaving only. I'll finish it within 3 minutes, so that you can ask questions if you have any. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. This is some of the slum schools. When I was working in Delhi, I used to run a number of slum schools for the children of the this one. Migrant laborers. Next, please. These were the open schools. Sometimes it would be tended school. Just teach them Hindi, English, and mathematics. Next, please. They never get an opportunity to go to schools. Next, please. Few toys to play with. And my wife, she is distributing compels. Next, please. And they wanted to have night schools for their parents. I made that one also. Just look at it. Those children, they are coming. They are coming, not only the children, parents are also coming along with their children. Next, please. These are certain things, you can change your society. Next, please. People in Delhi join me for this one. This is Dr. Satish. He is a professor in this one, England. He and his wife, they have joined us. He is from Kannur. Next, please. So Jain Saab, Pawan Jain, he used to give me, this compulse and other thing at a very this one very concessional rates. Next, please. So next, please. Next. I was running 5 schools like this one, Kutttippuram mein tha kabhi. For this, I got Citizen Journalist Award, and it was given by a very tall man. Next, please. So it became famous. Next, please. That was this man. Next, please. So another person who was taller than him, he wanted to meet these children when he came to India. Next, please. That was this man, American President Obama and Mrs. Obama. Next, please. They had a lot of questions about India and especially Indian Upanishads. Next, please. And they met the children. Next, please. Just look at the way he is sitting. Next, please. Next, please. And there is a boy, from right to left, second, It was he who had received welcome Mr. and Mrs. Obama. That boy, he liked him. So he asked him, "What is your name?" He said, "My name is Vishal." That was in 2010. In 2015, again he came to India. So at that time, I got a phone call. By that time, I had retired from the ASI. I got a phone call, which President of America, not from him, from American Embassy, that President of America is looking for Vishal. Then I arranged their meeting. Next, please. Now he has gone to St. Columbus. All those boys, whom we had helped at that time, now they are all, tolerably placed, many of them. And then I had a lecture in Delhi, so I invited him also as an inspirational leader and introduced to the whole group, and then we gave him financial help also. This is how we can change our own society. Sarve bhavantu sukhinam, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani paschantu ma kaschidam dukkha bhavamedu. So, next please. Why did he not forget his past? Next please. This is that meeting. There's a huge meeting in a huge auditorium. They had arranged it. Next please. Why did he not forget? Because he had such a past. He did not forget it. So thank you, my friends. This was a different kind of class. It was conservation. It was preservation. It was a kind of, how we can change the society all put together into one single harmonious whole. Thank you all for giving a very patient hearing. Now you have left 10 minutes. You can ask me questions if you have any.
Yes, I would request all the participants to put on your videos for the attendance and also so that sir can see you all. And I'll open the floor for any queries or questions or direct interaction with the speaker. I request all the participants to switch on your videos also, please. If you have anything to say to the speaker, to Mehmet sir, please you can unmute yourself and ask.
So, can I ask you something like not regarding what you were speaking about? I just wanted to know about what you think about the Ayodhya case. Have you ever got a chance to visit the place, and what do you think about it? Like the finally existed building was a masjid, and now they are planning to bring back a temple to the area. So there will be a lot of material wastage, as well as we can see an era will be erased from the existing area. We won't be having any remains from the Babri Masjid that was existing earlier, which was demolished in '92. So, what's your thoughts on that, sir?
So it is a very, it's a very big question because I have not only visited the site, I was part of the excavation team also in 1976-77, and I had made it very clearly in 1990 when BJP was not in power, and there was no hope also that BJP would be in power. At that time, I had said that there are remains of the temple below the mosque, and this is as important for Hindus as Makkah and Medina are for Muslims, and Muslims should have willingly handed it over. Willingly, Muslims should have handed it over, and we have got the number of temple remains from that area. So, but this is a very big question, and it requires another session for all these kinds of things. But it should not be. We should not treat the topic as an emotional topic. We had to see it, solve it from the technically and from the archaeological point of view. There are certain problems, certain mistakes have happened in the history, and we should not fight shy of it. We should admit this has happened. But today's Muslims are not responsible for what the medieval people had done, and we should not make a new beginning also, because if we are going to open this thing, accept certain places, because these are important, because if India is a secular country, even after giving Pakistan, my view is that it's only because it is Hindu majority country. Had it been Muslim majority country, it would never have been a secular country. So I'm very clear about it, and I had taken up this topic also earlier also. But we need a full session for all these things. But that will be creating a lot of problems also. So let us not get into that topic at this stage.
Thank you, Sanam, for that question. Uh, Anybody else would like to directly interact with the speaker? So we have a question. So what are other examples of restoration that we can refer to, similar to this one?
Apart from this, there are a number of, at Mandu. Mandu was the place of the sultanates of Khilji sultans. There also we have taken up this kind of extensive conservation, preservation. And then at this one, Bhojpur, there is a temple, Buddha temple group is there. There also we have taken up it in different parts of the country. I mean, Archaeological Survey of India have got near about more than 5,000 monuments, and out of them, 37 are World Heritage Monument. For example, Sanchi. I got a national award also for the conservation of Sanchi. A huge temple, a very big temple. I mean, this one, Stupa. So the entire area, I mean, it was again in a very highly degenerated position, but we have been able to conserve it now. It is one of the most beautifully maintained monuments in the whole country, and it is one of the 37 World Heritage Monuments also. All over the world, there are 1,121 World Heritage Monuments. Out of that, 37 are in India.
Yes, sir. So we have one more question. So the restoration part that you showed, where masons were brought in to reconstruct the original, the broken pieces, where they had to reconstruct it. So what were the materials used? Were it similar to the original materials, or did they have to use any modern materials for the reconstruction?
No, you have to sometimes, you will have to use modern material also, but that would be completely concealed. For example, if you have to join two pieces together, you have to insert, like, for a knee surgeon, he has to insert a foreign material. Foreign material means he will have to he will have to insert this one, a kind of, sometimes it would be plastic, or sometimes it would be a rubberized, or sometimes it would be steel also. So similarly, we also had to insert steel and araldite inside this one. And then what we do is, suppose you don't want to show the scars of it. So for that, you can use that, the same kind of stone is there. You make it, powderize it, and then just give a healing, this one, a matching layer over that one. So normally people may not be able to detect it unless and until you are an expert. If you are an expert, then you will be able to verify whether this is a real thing or not. So this is how we reuse the entire thing. So sometimes it would be foreign material also, sometimes it would be the same kind of material also. You can have an option of your own. Next, please.
Okay, sir. So we have one last. We have Yes, one final question. What are the major challenges that any restoration project in India faces?
See, in India, we have mainly the conservation and preservation. You're very short of funds for all these things. Because I thought that BJP will be taking interest, because these are the temples, but BJP will be taking interest in all these temples. But it is not like that. Congress was far, far better than these people. Congress did not speak about what they are going to do, what they will be doing, and all those things. But they used to help and cooperate. But the present ministry is not like that. It has come down, the graph has come down, and you will have to tell them every moment that the condition is very bad. Please help the Archaeological Survey of India. If you want to market the entire thing, if you wanted to have more and more tourism into India, You have to conserve this monument. These are these monuments are the real thing by which you can sell the heritage of the country, which unfortunately the present BJP government is not doing. So these are, I mean, every time you will be having new challenges, and an archaeologist has to meet all these things also.
Okay, sir. Mehmet sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and coming here with us to share your experience. Actually, that has been almost an adventure to go through that presentation with you. All the trouble that you took, I think we should be thanking you for restoring some of our heritage back. We understand that you've been through so much trouble, yet you have courageously faced all of that just to conserve the heritage of India. So thank you so much, sir, for joining us with us today.
Thank you very much for giving a patient hearing. But your students should be more active. I mean, they are not active, that active. They should have asked more questions about the subjects, because I've been this one addressing so many meetings in so many organizations. But here the reception is very lukewarm, I think. It should not be like that. They should come out. They should come out. They should face the world. They should ask questions, which is not coming through. चलिए बहुत
Yes,
अच्छा है. They may change themselves.
yes, sir. Anyways, thank you so much, sir, for your time. Yes,
Right,
we
right.
hope to hear you soon again.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. On that note, I'll now invite Sanam to give a few instructions before we close the day, the usual instructions. Sanam, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very insightful day with some exciting speakers and interesting sessions. And that brings us to the end of day 6 of FDP. We are grateful for the speakers and participants for making this day a very successful day. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to architect Sandeep Vermani, architect Vinod Kumar MM, and Dr. KK Mohammed for interacting with us. It has been empowering to be virtually part of your experiences and studies. And thank you, participants, for your kind cooperation during the conduct of the sessions. We hope you have had all lots of fun and lots of knowledge gained listening to the speakers. The daily test Google Forms have been shared in the chat and also in the WhatsApp group. Kindly complete the same before commencement of tomorrow's session. A mail with the installation files of the software eQuest for day 9 and 10 of the FDP have been sent to all the participants. We kindly request you to download the software and go through the requirements before the session. Please notify us if you have any issue regarding the same. Tomorrow on day 7 of FDP, we have with us to share their insights Dr. Ajit Gokhale, Dr. Benny Kuriakose and Dr. Sumit Sharma, who would be talking about the sustainability of water, materials, and air resources respectively. For any queries, feel free to contact our facilitators via WhatsApp, mail, or call. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, Sanam. Thank you all. We'll meet you back tomorrow. Thank you.